Hello students, good morning. Once again I welcome you class 7th English. Now as we all know that is our PA2 syllabus is going on, and we all know that is the chapter 9 textual part is over. The remaining portion is grammar and writing, and we all know that our PA2 syllabus is chapter 8, 9, 10 and 2 poem, right? And apart from one poem and one chapter is over, this is our second chapter, the new unit, right? The new unit name is what? What is the name of the new unit? So, name of the unit is Indian Street, not Indian Street, childhood, right? So, this is our new unit, and in this first chapter, the big silver rupee, the textual part is over. Now we all know that how Gangadhar and his friend Sadhu enjoyed a lot, which was very tough time for them, and Gangadhar and it means Sadhu, utilized 1 rupee, and whatever the money he remaining, it means Gangadhar remaining, he wants to give to his mother, right? So these are the things, and we all know that. Now the remaining portion, and that is our grammar, and here the grammar is direct, indirect, object. Now students, whatever the sentence constructions, right, either it is a negative or affirmative, in that sentence there should be a object, there should be subject, and there should be what? Subject, right? Without subject there is a sentence, the sentence is not complete. Without object the sentence is not complete. Without verb the sentence is not complete. For example, he ate. Now what is ate? Now we have subject and verb, right? He or eating mangoes. What is it? Only eating mangoes. So no object. Say suppose he eats, right? See that here subject and verb, there is a no object. Now the sentence is complete? No, the sentence is not. Suppose it's mango. Now what is it? Is there any complete sense? No, because here only verb and here only object. So what is without? Suppose if we write down he eats a mango. So he eats a mango. Subject, verb and object. So in the sentence, these three things, this three part, right? It is a part of the sentence. Right? This three part of the sentence, it should be compulsory in the sentence. So without these three, any one of the missing, right? Any one of these missing in the sentence, the sentence is incomplete sentence. So students, here I will teach you direct and indirect object. So first of all, I will start with direct object. Now what do you mean by the direct object? How can you identify the direct object? So direct object, what is it? That it is either noun or a pronoun, right? It is either noun or pronoun. Number 2, follows, it was, when it is follows an action verb. And third one, how? What is the third? That receives the action of the verbs. Receives the action of the verb. Now students, it is a common thing that if you want to identify your object, ask a question with what or who. We are using who for majority subject, right? We are using who for majority subject. How? in which type? Suppose if I am saying that Rima writes a letter, right? So who writes a letter? Who writes a letter? So answer is Rima. Suppose I am asking that what does Rima write? So the answer is a letter, right? So if you will ask the question with who or what, you can identify with the help of who. Ask the question to your object, you will get your subject. And with the help of the what, you will ask the question to your subject, right? You will get your object. But here, common rule. But sometimes it is some exceptional case also we have to follow. So here says that a direct object can be found by asking who or what, right? See that direct object, as I told you that direct object can be found what can be found by asking who or what, right? About an action, right? See that these two words we have to focus. What is the action? We have to talk about an action. That time we will ask the question with who or what. So we are getting our direct object. Suppose if I write down the example, the message reached the lawyer. See that. So suppose we want to ask him who reached the message, because it is what your subject, right? It is your action verb and it is your direct object. Suppose who reached the message, right? So the lawyer reached the message. If you will ask this question, what did the lawyer? No. What did the lawyer reach? No. We cannot get the answer properly. So that's why the message reached the lawyer. So the lawyer is what? Direct object. Who reached the message? Right? Who reached the message? So here it is what? Your direct object. We ask the question with who. Second example. His landlord is raising the rent. So here you can identify that, student. See that it is your subject, it is your action verb, and it is your object. How? What is the rate of what is his landlord raising? So the answer is the rent, right? Suppose you say that who is raising the rent? So his landlord. So you will get your direct object and your subject also. So here focus here, who is raising? Suppose if I am asking the question, who is raising the rent? So the answer is the landlord. Then what is his landlord raising So what is his land or region? So we are getting our object, that is our land. So students, follow this. It is a very easiest topic. Now, then after, there is one note also. See, a direct object. A direct object is never an adverb or preposition. See, never an adverb and preposition. Suppose if I am to write down, there are three examples. John walked his dog, right? John walked briskly, and John walked to the store. See, what students? To the store. So see that here, to whom, or we can say is that John walked his dog. So it is a noun, right? It is a noun. That's why it is what? Direct object. Now briskly, you can ask how John walked. So do you think that who walked with John? So his dog. Now here, how John walked. How did John walk? So briskly. So it is what? An adverb. Right? John walked to the store. Right? Now to the store. Ask the question. Where did John walk? To the store. So we are not follow this to rule. Even to the store. Right? It indicates the place. And that is, and it is a prepositional. Prepositional phrase. It is a prepositional phrase. So as I told you, that is never an adverb or preposition. So in this direct object you should not follow. It means it never come. It never came an adverb and preposition. Now so students, here our direct object is over. Now let's turn to our indirect object. Indirect object. Now indirect object, it is in the sentence, and remember, if the indirect object in the sentence, it means there should be a direct object in that sentence. Suppose, how can we identify? So number one, it is the same, a noun or a pronoun, right? Then it is a noun and pronoun, tells to who or what, or for who or for what the actions of the verb in is done, right? It tells about to who or to what, to who or to what, or for whom. It means here who or for what, right? For who and for what the action, the action verb is done. Now here, if you want to ask the question, you can ask the question with the help of whom. Right? Suppose if I am write down here an example, Anand brought a candy. See that. So we can ask, what did Anand bought? So the answer is candy. So, sorry, what did Anand bring? So the candy is object. So it is a direct object. But if I will write the sentence, Anand bought me a candy. See, Anand bought me a candy, or if you can write that Anand bought a candy for me. Right? Suppose another example also, Anand brought candy for me. Now here me and for me both are your indirect object. Both is your indirect object. And remember one thing, that indirect object either noun or a pronoun. Majority it is a pronoun. Majority it is a pronoun, and majority it comes out of the direct object. Exceptional case somewhere we have, suppose here as I told you that it is before the direct object I put the indirect object. Some cases it will happen, but majority it comes after what? Direct object. And even here there is a preposition is there, right? Before the indirect object there should be a one preposition. Suppose if I am saying that my brother gave me an iPod, right? Or my brother gave iPod to me. Now to me, now to it is a preposition. So here this is the thing. Then another thing is what? Once another example I will write. Sarah showed the class her new glasses. So what did Sarah showed to the class? So the answer is her new glass. So it is your direct object. Even who showed Sarah her new glass? The glass, right? Who showed Sarah her new glass? So to the class, so it is your indirect object. And as we all know that it is your subject and it is your verb. Suppose we want to identify the subject. Who showed the class her new glass? So here, same way, to whom, right? If we say to whom did Sarah show her new glass? To the class. So it is your indirect object. There are two common rules for this chapter. Number one, that without indirect object there should be a direct object in the sentence. But if there is an indirect object in the sentence, there should be a direct object in that sentence. It means without direct object there is no need of the indirect object. So without direct object it means there should be what? Direct object, right? And without direct object the indirect object is not useful. Same way, if there is a direct object in the sentence, it means it not compulsory that in the sentence there is the indirect object, right? Without indirect object, with the help of the direct object, the sentence should be completed, right? So students, here our topic is over. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you.